What if you and I unify in you and I TY? What if you and I unify in you and I TY? What if you and I unify?
Yo, what's going on, people? You're watching the Unity Sessions live on TLDTV. We're about to get into it with the brother Aaron Parich. How you doing, my guy?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, man. How's this pandemic life been treating you?
Well, for a while, wasn't at work, so more time to pray, get into the word. Just re-evaluate things like, am I leaning too much on my own plans over God's? Just considering that God's plan never changes. He's not surprised by anything. So, just what stands as far as, his schedule is concerned, considering these times and how to respond really. I think that's the best way I can answer that.
Yeah, how have you found the response from other people around you? Have the people around you been anxious, or you feeling like there's a high level of composure around you? What's your inner circle like?
I think my inner circle, I think just a whole mixture of things like, feeling the inconvenience, because we're human beings. But at the same time, uh, because we are, prayerful people. So let's start like with my household, for example. Like we know that things like pestilence and things that will, shake people up in fear, like those times will come. Um, and then there's just bracing ourselves, well, let's stay prayerful, let's be wise, but at the same time, just iron out like where people just fear mongering, like, just falling for the trap. Um, and just try and be encouragement to other people, because yeah, like I believe, people, believer and non-believer, like, they're having their own kind of bit of a shock to the situation, but then I think it's really just drawing out, the faith that's truly in those who really are, more dependent on the Spirit of God than them trying to like work out like their own security in
Yeah.
this life on earth. Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess one of the things I think people never really bargained for was the stamina factor. I think, as Christians, we're kind of, like you say, used to adversity coming our way, trials, tribulations, all that. But I think the kind of stamina this one's took, in terms of coming out to like a year now, it's felt a little bit brand new. Have you been managing to make music, put out music during this spell?
Uh, Me not so much. Well, so far since I call it pandemic, but but yeah, since the whole uh lockdown situation, I've just been able to like take a track that was unfinished in the studio, like get a pad, then like put a music program on it, and then just run like some old vocal stems and the instrumental, just kind of like chop it up and edit it, so I'll be able to finish it and then send it to get mixed and mastered.
Nice. So you've been learning to do some home editing, yeah?
Yeah, well, I did I did do that before, with my Freedom Friday series. That was way back in 2017. Um, they had the Garage Band on the Mac Pro. So because I couldn't afford to go studio at the time, it was just hard just to save up and manage other things. And then I realized, wait, I've got vocal recorder like on my phone. I've got this little music program. Let's see if I can put it together. And yeah, some songs came out, good quality after mixing and mastering. Some just came out like, yeah, this obviously is like a homemade thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, people were quite receptive to that series, to that body of work. So
Yeah.
the only difference was because it was a Samsung Galaxy Notepad. There was no GarageBand, so it was getting used to how that program works. And yeah, I'm still trying to get used to that.
Yeah, it's a funny thing with hip hop, really, because I think that's
Mm.
why sometimes people still kind of fall in love with some of the 80s and 90s sound, because we kind of lost the kind of rugged feel for it. I say ever since about '03, when like Kanye came through, especially like the standards in terms of what's expected, the mix and master, have just been wild up there, man. So yeah, look forward to hearing it. I always like to hear, like, you know, stuff that isn't necessarily fully commercial avenues and that kind of thing. And he just put out an EP as well, right? Raise the Bar.
Yeah. Well, Raise the Bar, that was largely in the studio. But yeah, definitely had to be finished in that kind of like raw way. So, you know, you got like a mixture of the professionalism and, well, I'll say to anybody, anyone who's a fellow artist or whatever, you know, if there's no like good professionalism attached to what you're making and trying to put out there, then yeah, like stay at the drawing board, like until further notice. But because hip hop has this rawness to it, yeah, to not lose that and actually come with that, yeah, I think it makes for a great mix. It's a nice cocktail.
Yeah, and that was the inspiration for the EP. Raise the Bar. What does it mean?
Raise the bar. It means two things. Number one, raising the bar, raising the standard in our life as Christians, because yeah, we are pressing forward. You know, forgetting the things that are behind. You know, just leaning forward towards the cross. You know, there's that saying in the song, "I have decided to follow Jesus, the cross before me, the world behind me." So every day that there has to be growth. You may not see it like literally like, oh, one day I prayed in tongues for 10 hours and then the next day went for 20 hours and that is possible. But sometimes when you actually look back over a period of time, like that's when you tend to see growth, kind of like how a child grows. You don't see them growing inch by inch, but over time you actually start to notice the difference more. And the second meaning being yeah, raising the bar, like pushing the bar as far as me being an artist and being better at the writing, delivery, how I go about, you know, putting a new project together, and yeah, just really being better than I was when I started out.
Yeah, so double meaning. Did you say you prayed in tongues for 10 hours?
I'm not saying I haven't prayed in tongues for 10 hours straight. That was just an example, but
Oh. All right, I was just checking in. All right, so talk us through some of the tracks on there. I think one of the standout ones to me is Roll Out, for some obvious reasons, and for some non-obvious reasons as well. What made you lead with that as a single?
Roll Out because I'll say as far as um, the first time I actually started writing the songs, I'll say Rollout is the oldest. It was like literally the barring out kind of song. Like it's got a hip hop feel, but then it works on grime as well, which I think turned out quite beautifully. Yeah, I just wanted to lead with that one because you know it's just that straight up statement. You know, we're here barring out for Christ. We're going to live for Christ, and we're going to be confident, unashamed about that. So I think Rollout just really sends that message. And yeah, easiest to learn and easiest to perform as well. Kind of like get people kind of like ready for the more like serious and kind of more like lyrically complex stuff.
Yeah, I've heard like a big positive response, especially from those kind of older grime and garage heads. I've really been into that track. Yeah. How do you feel about that scene at the moment? Like in terms of the UK especially, there's I'd say the UK rap scene as a whole seems to be in a pretty healthy place. What's your view on it from a secular perspective first, in terms of UK rap as a whole?
From a secular perspective, or you mean like overall in general?
Yeah, in general.
I think in general, yeah, it's not a strange thing to know that rappers actually exist in the UK and not even just in England, like let alone London. Like we're all over the place. You know, you got Birmingham, you got Manchester, even people in like Scotland and Wales are coming up. You know, so yeah, it's definitely in a very healthy place. Industry wise, um, UK rappers, US rappers, they're collaborating like they live next door to each other. And it's been going on for years. I'll say it's definitely been in a good place commercially, say since like the 2007, 2008, 2009 days. You know, like when the like more N Dubs, Chips, and like Tinchy Striders, like they were starting to blow up. Um, and yeah, so yeah, like it definitely gives us an avenue in our particular scene, our particular space, to just be like, yeah, like we are from this area, this part of the world as well. We just come with a different message.
Yeah, and how have you found it within the CHH scene? What's your view on how that's looking right now?
Um, wow, there's a whole new generation rising up. Like we've seen it, like I've seen it, you've seen it. There's the Still Shadies, the Saint CJs, the Oscars, Canolas. Yeah, they're just rising up, like doing their thing, and yeah, they are definitely like intermingling, like doing stuff with some of the older heads as well. So definitely in a good space. Definitely, there are gaps that are being bridged. Um, I don't think it's so like disunified as say before. But yeah, it's definitely in a place where like talent is just it's just coming up. We're in an era that no one can say, oh, I don't know how to access these kind of artists. I mean, on YouTube, you got the Gospel Hydrations and Mercy UK. They're all over Spotify, and they're jumping on playlists that have mostly secular artists. So yeah, really, really happy about where it is right now. Yeah, I can only just say, yeah, let's just give honor where honor's due to those who just like laid the framework and just not forgetting, it's kingdom, it's kingdom.
Yeah. Like I'd say, like definitely, like I feel like it's in a much healthier place. About five or so years ago, in my mind, my worry was that it could potentially die out as a scene, especially in terms of like platforms. You'd kind of get to a certain position within the CHH thing and almost inevitably have to do a little crossovery type thing in order to get some attention, in order to have a scene. But yeah, man, especially with the drill sound and whatnot, like I never anticipated that at all. That the kind of drill scene would have the knock-on effect of having so many Christian drill rappers coming out. How have you kind of interpreted that movement and that scene? I know you mentioned like Canola and a couple of people there just now.
Yeah, I think there's always going to be that thing where just over on the secular side, like a new sound kind of comes out, um, whether or not there's a negative connotation to it, and then because it's reaching our side, and that's what's popping amongst the youth or most listeners of urban music. um, you know, Outside just gets, you take it, kind of like adopt it, clean it up, and then like we just like make something new out of that as well. Um, but I do discern that we're starting to like get our own sound as well. Obviously, you can hear elements of like the Afro beats, the drill, and the hip hop and things like that. But yeah, there's just something I can't quite put my finger on it. There's something unique about our sound where it's like, you know, we this is showing like, these are the kind of fish that we're trying to catch. But at the same time, we there's no conformity to it. Like we still stay original. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so it's important. But yeah, I'm definitely sleeping better, man, with the way that the CHH scene is now compared to how it was a few years ago, bro. And another thing about you that's quite interesting is you're not just a rapper, are you? Well, tell us.
Oh man. Artistically, yeah, I don't just rap. Yeah, I'm also into acting, film, theater. So yeah, that's another side of the creative area. Yeah.
Yeah, and how you found navigating that space? In some ways, it seems kind of more difficult? Like when you go for castings and such, how do you navigate that?
Well, at the moment, because I mean, most oftentimes, like the easiest answer is having an agent. I don't have an agent at the moment. So what I do, like, I'm just always looking at, okay, like what is out there with the information that I'm given, what might the storyline be about, or if I happen to kind of be familiar with the director or the writer who's worked on other stuff and like kind of what they stand for, maybe I'll just go for what they've got coming up. Whether I know the story of what they've got or not. And then yeah, just really asking God, like, just let me have peace. Like if you're about me getting involved in this particular project, then just give me a piece about it. Like just show me, just lead me so I
Yeah,
don't make the wrong decision. Um, and yeah, and just really just having a high regard, just know what your standards are, what you're willing to get involved in, and what you're not willing to get involved in. And yeah, just sticking to it, just really, yeah, just really having like some hard skin about yeah, the kind of stories that you want to tell.
yeah. Have you ever had to reject a role just based on your faith?
Yeah, there had been times where, well, I haven't been offered a role and I said no to it, but I do recall just like going beyond audition to seeing the script and just having to pray over it and just being like, yeah, I don't know about this one, like this character is like, like cussing bad word or the storyline overall, like even if my character in particular doesn't have to do anything, but there's just like some stuff that is going on that, biblically speaking, like if no one really addresses the morale of it, then it will just be passed off as something that's normal. And we know we're living in a world where, you know, especially where media is so strong, like the exposure to sin, like it's just being normalized. Like, oh, hey, it's okay, everyone does it, like it's no big deal. So yeah, so based on that, yeah, I may have had to step back on some roles or just be like, okay, someone's telling me about this. Like I've been informed about castings several times, say like for Top Boy or something similar. But because I kind of just know, like, well, I can see where this is going already. I'm just like, I'm not even gonna touch that.
Yeah, because while you're talking there, I've never even thought about it actually. Like in my head, I'm always thinking about like the CHH music scene and that kind of thing. But what's the Christian film industry like in this country?
Boy, it's fragmented, for lack of a better term. Like from time to time, I'll say it's more stronger in the area of short films. Um, so you got someone like Amani Simpson, who basically put out part of the story in the short film Amani, which is not overly preachy, but you can tell there's elements of faith in there. There's like Room 113, like they've got their little Christian comedy skits. So like short film wise, yeah, I'll say it's like quite strong. But as far as letting like the community of believers know, like, hey, like we've got this on, like it's kind of can be quite close. So it can be hard to find out about these things at the audition stage before they actually go any further. And well, this is a general thing in the film industry overall, so it's not like a unique problem, but yeah, but especially with Christian film, you do find that a lot of people they do start projects, like they get people involved and maybe even like halfway through production, but then uh, all of a sudden, it just stops and there's no addressing, oh, why we can't continue, and yeah, it
Yeah,
just
yeah,
it just falls through. It never gets off the ground.
yeah. Dumb ones, man. It's hard independent level. Speaking of which, you got something that you've been working on to put out too, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, I've written a script for a film called Let It Rise. And that really, in a nutshell, that's like, imagine all the like the youth group concerts where we've seen like drama sketches and obviously the performances from artists, like, but on the big screen. So like so like just imagine characters like Trife and Sam Pure and yeah, and Duchesne from Top Boy, all of them. Like, what if they had an encounter with someone preaching the gospel message, and how that affects how they respond to their situation on roads or in school and things like that. So
Nice.
that's basically what Let It Rise tackles. And yeah.
It's an interesting idea, man. And so, like, where you at with the production of that? I know it's a bit wild again, Corona life.
Mm. Yeah, so before COVID hit and we were put on lockdown, already had a cast set, um, had a like small production team assembled, had a camera guy, but obviously he was already at the professional level. He was getting paid to do it,
Yeah,
and me being like a first time director and whatnot, you know, I made it plain to everybody like this is a passion project. So if you really believe in this, then yeah, like come and support. He couldn't really afford to do it, so he dropped out. Got someone new. But yeah, it's just really a matter of yeah, just how long, when, and just how to adapt the story. So when we do go to film it, the story still makes sense, but just like adapting to the fact that well, yeah, not every venue or just just how rehearsals may have looked like potentially um, has been affected. Yeah, just adapting like to the new climate so that filming it won't be such a hassle. So you can say we're still kind of like in development slash pre-production stage. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It'd be interesting to see that when it comes out, man. Because it would it be your first film?
First film which I have like written the
Yeah,
dialogue for, and first film that I would be like doing a bit of a Tyler Perry on. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So definitely, man. Definitely looking forward to seeing that. Definitely is looking forward to seeing how knowing new how you're going to be able to embed the music and stuff like that in there. Do you have any other goals that you're looking at in terms of this year?
In terms of this year, just generally speaking, just Lord, let your will be done. Um, yeah, artistically speaking, yeah, God willing, just more music, few singles here and there. And yeah, just anyone who just wants to collaborate. I mean, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's like see what you got going on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, sounds good. One thing I always ask people is, what can people pray for you, man, as we get into this year?
Um, yeah, just more growth, walking in faith, just not so much looking at circumstances, but just looking at yeah, just the vision in regards to my role to play in the CHH scene or in the world of just performing arts, Christian performing arts. And yeah, and just in terms of yeah, just being able to, you know, walk my talk, especially in the midst of, unsaved friends and family. So yeah, I'll definitely appreciate prayers in that area. And yeah, just grateful. Yeah, we can always improve time management. So yeah, just better
Mm,
time management as time passes. Yeah.
I hear you, man. Yeah, it's been dope, man. I'm just looking forward to seeing how all of those things come together. So the Raise the Bar EP that's available on Bandcamp, I can put that link down there below for you. Check out Aaron Parich, got a lot going on musically. Yeah, the film stuff's on the way as well. So definitely pay attention to this guy, man. Till next time, people. Thanks for coming on, bro. We out.
Thanks for having me, bro.